Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Orla Live for Tuesday, the 8th of April, 2025. My name is Paul Fitzsimons. I'll be joined in a while by Orla Donohoe, and I hope a couple of the lads might come on as well later on as well. We have a couple of things to talk about. Dublin not being safe is one of them. We also have the protest we want to talk about as well. We want to talk about tariffs, and we also want to talk about vaccines and how you could be killing people and everything else. There's also a leadership role up for grabs in the IFP. Herman Kelly's presidency is being questioned at the moment, and Diarmuid Gaffney is running for president as well on the 26th. So we'll talk about that in the next few minutes. And but again, as happened, Dublin City is not safe. We had a few different things. We had one girl arrested today and pepper sprayed by 10 Gardaí. I'll play that video later on. At least 10 Gardaí. It seems she had an argument with somebody. Now, I don't know about you, but when you call a guard anywhere around here or anywhere else in Dublin, nothing happens. But they've all of a sudden, they have put them all out now out in force in Dublin city centre. So, yeah, I'm just going to play this video here now. This is just, hang on, I'll bring Orla up. Hello there, how are you?
Hi Paul, how are you? Oh, we're in the library this evening, very posh.
I'm in the library this evening, yes. I thought, listen, I might have been doing a bit of studying today, so yeah, hey, why not?
Very good, very good. Well, now, Paul, they didn't have books back in the 1850s, did they? Or not too many of them?
That's all we had was books. That's all we had. We nothing else. That's my library behind me.
Yeah, I know. Not to the extent of that, Paul.
Yeah, but I might see, can I get hold of Frank later on and get Frank to come on for a few minutes just to talk about these tariffs and the whole lot. You know what I mean? I'll send him a text now and I will. But we had the Burks. The Burks went and caught the Catholic. What was it? The Catholic. What were they called? Yeah, hang on there. The Christian Institute. Yeah, that's what it is. They went to the Christian Institute and they caught your man from there. He seems to be cozying up with LGBT activists and the whole lot, so in the Christian thing. But as I said, Dublin City is not safe. Hang on, there's a few. Jesus, this is flying already. Hi, Orla. Hi, Orla. Hi, Orla. Hello, friends.
Never mind, Paul. Nobody cares about Paul.
Jade. He said, hello, friends. Paul, show Orla the image I sent you on the call. He sent me an image, right? He sent me and God again, you know, and then he sent me as God. I'll show it to you in a while. I'll pull her up in a while. But,
well, actually, good conversation. I want to give a shout out to Brian, who I was talking to today. He'll know I'm talking about. And he said, Paul, he was watching the show the other night and he said, you really do have a face for the radio.
A lot of people did say that, you know what I mean? I could have been, listen, I don't mind, you know what I mean? Like I had Freedom Radio going there for a while.
Oh, hey, Karen.
I didn't do much on it. How are you, Karen? Yeah. Karen, how are you, Karen? Yeah. Oh, that's Karen Green. Yeah, now I know who it is. Hello,
that's Karen.
Hi, Paul. Orla, how's it hanging? Well, mine's hanging good. I don't know about Orla, but
I don't have anything.
Yeah. How are you, John? Yeah, thanks for tuning in again, brother. Thank you. But Dublin is not safe, okay? And the Mirror done a video here last week about this, okay? And they spoke to a few people. We'll come back and talk to it in a minute.
Okay.
Do you feel safe in Dublin City at the moment?
No, definitely not.
Can I ask you why?
Well, there's an awful lot of unsocial behaviour now. It's not only night time now, it's daytime. And we're here now on the street where it's all multinationals and we don't know what's going to happen from one end of the day to the other. Like there can be an outbreak of anything. Like for instance, last week there was a stabbing incident in the Ilac Centre during the day. Well, so that's not good enough, you know what I mean?
Now you've been here street trading in Mercy over the years. When did it all start changing?
Just in over the last 12 months, really. I think a lot of the groups are all getting bigger in age. You know, they're growing up now and they're in different gangs now, what we never had. In the last 2 weeks, there is a lot of police presence, and there has been no instance. So no, I have to give credit where it's due, definitely. But whether that keeps up or not, I don't know.
The scooters are flying by you, very thing. You can see them sitting around the corners, and it's all scooters coming up. So like the guys are dealing there in around the area, and there's a lot of atmosphere between foreign people and refugees and the Irish people. The guys going up through the bins, routing through the bins. I witnessed here about 2 weeks ago that there was two groups fighting over. It was their corner. These bins was their area. So it's just getting.
So were they looking in the bins for stuff?
Rooting for the bottles and the things. But then another two guys come over to them and said, "These are their bins. This is their area. Keep off our turf."
Would you recommend any tourists come into the capital?
It's very hard. I deal with people from the States through golf and things like that. It's very hard. They're quite happy when they come. But the thing about it is they're not moving in around town. They're going to the hotels and they're going to the couple of local pubs. They wouldn't be walking in around town. So no, it's not a very safe place at the moment.
Yeah, it's gone really bad. How are you, Ryan? How are you doing,
Hi, Ryan.
Paul?
How are you?
Pretty good. How's things, Ryan? But it's.
I saw
Dublin
that.
City Centre has gone ridiculous. Like it really has. It's you can't walk up the street. As I said, there was a girl attacked. When I say attacked, a Gardaí, she was shouting at a Garda today. It's a bit of hassle, and I'll see if I can find the video now. Somebody sent it to me, but she was pepper sprayed, and 10 guards lifted her into a van. You know what I mean? Like when you're looking for the guards, you can't find the guards. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But that old woman that was speaking in that day, like she's a dealer. Like she's seen what went on in Moore Street all through the years, bombings and bleeding, fighting, and you know, it's a whole new ball game to her there now. She's afraid of her life to be there. The Roma gypsies have taken over Moore Street. It's just gone ridiculous.
Fighting over bins, like isn't that unbelievable? Like for what, 15 cents for a can? Like honest to God, that just says it all. Yeah,
but that's what they're doing. That's only the half of it, like, you know what I mean? Like, like 6 weeks ago, we had 4 people with getting their throats cut outside their own homes. You know what I mean? We've had the Parnell Square, the kids being stabbed in 2023. Like these things are happening, and the media are not talking about it. You know what I mean? Like we talk about it because nobody else will talk about it. Myself and my missus love this. Thanks for doing a great job. Thanks very much, Fran. Fair play to you. It's all an illusion. Christ is king. Live your life, speak the truth, and them all. Yes, exactly. I couldn't say Christ and the F word in the one sentence. So yeah. So Michael John, I've only just emailed the Department of Justice about this. About what these are saying that the police should be armed. Oh, I don't know. Like the police who are armed. They're well trained. Like you can't just have them people.
Well, we've
discussed
it a few times about how this could be an issue of bringing more guns into the country, like America.
Yeah. Dave, yeah, I know who that is.
Michael, you were asking about this. Here is Tom. He's the youngest cat I have, and he's the biggest amount of trouble. Yeah. He even has the look of trouble. Paul, you and him would get on very well.
Would we? Because he's old. Ryan says, "I have."
You're very young, but he's trouble.
Yeah, Ryan says, "I have big news for you and Orla Donohoe." So I'll have to ring him and talk to him. Somebody there.
Cool, Ryan.
I looked up for a hotel in Dublin, €300 for one night. I might as well put on an accident and travel over in the dinghy. I'll get one for free. You will. That's the thing, you know. It's.
But is it any wonder the tourism is the way it is when you're paying like for one night? Like it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, the lady in Moore Street is correct, given the footage I've seen. Listen, we've all seen the footage. Someone else there, Garda armed, no thank you. Yeah, I don't think so either. The ones who are armed are doing a good enough job, I think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But MSN is owned by the World Economic Forum and get no truth from them. It is true, yes, it is. And even my home village in rural Ireland is not safe anymore in the daytime. It's, no thanks to armed Gardaí. So people don't want, there's a lot of people in the chat there don't want armed Gardaí. I'm one of them people as well. I think. What would you think yourself?
Well, that's what I've said. Like, I just think it could lead on to more trouble and more guns in the country.
Yeah, there's someone saying they're printing machines now, and it's
Yeah.
true. Like, you know what I mean? There is a lot of guns in the country. You know what I mean?
Well, you just take a look at America. Like, that's where you could be heading, you know?
Yeah. Oh, your black
Thanks,
cat is
Michael.
lovely. Tom is beautiful. Yeah.
Thanks,
Lad,
Karen. He's so much trouble,
the
honest to
lads.
God. He's a devil.
This is the lads again. Open invite to the Voice of Wales answer time event. Yeah, listen. I said we would try and get over. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. But there's an open invite there, lads, to the Voice of Wales answer time event at the Rafa Club in Treorchy, South Wales, 3rd of May. Could you share with your colleagues? Yes, we will share with everyone there, but everyone is getting it there. They can see it. I don't want to be going down the same line as America. Everyone armed. School teachers have enough to do without that crack. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Jaden, I am sending a 6-minute video on forced integration. Okay, we'll have a look at that in a while. As a kid, I loved Moore Street. To see the way it is now is so bad. Listen, as a kid, I loved it as well. We only spoke about it the other night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all the Gardaí being armed while patrolling on the streets is a double-edged sword. What if they turn on us?
And what if children get their hands on guns? Are we going to see the same thing as America? Do you know, where you've got mass shootings in a school? Like, that's what it could lead on to as well, you know? More guns in the country, more trouble.
Yeah, Vincent Brown there. Trump, people in US Embassy know what's going on, Paul. Yes, they do. Of course they know. You know, Europa is asking, Orla, I'm getting a kitten soon. Do you recommend a raw food diet? Everything I'm seeing says it's best, but I can't get a definitive guide recipe. Any suggestions? I've never had a cat before.
Well, you can feed them, same as dogs. Do you know, cats eat a lot of protein. You know,
yeah.
I mean, look, they do say the same thing, which we'll say the same as ourselves, processed food. It's the same as cat and dog food, unless you're buying high quality. But I mean, sure, if cats are living out in the wild, what are they eating? Mice? That's raw food. On the run.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah. But their diet would be more high protein than a dog's would.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Lads, we're hitting 300 there. Fair play. This we're flying. Like, share, subscribe.
What was wrong with your camera? Did you get it sorted out?
I don't know. I had to take apart everything and reboot everything and do what I got it sorted. I got it sorted on Monday. It was grand. I didn't do anything with it on Sunday night. I thought, oh no. But you can join us there, people. You can get us at FitzyDub on Twitter, Anthony Casey, Rugger Murph. You can get us on Facebook at Paul Fitzsimons and Rugger Murph, and on www.theirishchannel.com/live. And you can comment, as you know you're already doing as we speak. Jade and Chris, I sent it by link on WhatsApp. Yeah, okay. I'll try it now. Let me have a look. Oh, so I have to download it, Jade. Fair play to you. We'll have a look now in a minute. I'll move it over here. But, yeah, I have to show you the picture. Yeah, this is me. I don't think it looks anything like me. Even the kid said it to me, Dad, this looks nothing like you.
Right, let's see.
St. Paul the Apostle. Yeah.
Hold on, I need to look it on the telly. Hold on.
Yeah. Looks nothing like me. He's too fat of a head for me. You know? The hairline's all right, but you know what I mean? But it's just he's too many chins. Definitely.
Hey, he's got the tan.
Yeah. And I got a good one today. I was outside today. I was doing it. I was putting in I had fences there from last year or the year before, and I just never put them in. And I asked the guy last night, could I go into his garden? So he said, yeah. So that's what we did. I did that today, and I tidied the back. So yeah, barbecue time. Be pissing rain there. Watch tomorrow.
Oh, don't say that.
Listen, you could see them spraying the skies earlier. I swear to God, it was beautiful all day, and then it's oh no, here we go. Hey Paul, what's the WhatsApp number? Okay, I'll put it across the screen there. The WhatsApp number is 089 203 1521. That's 089 203 1521. Yeah. I didn't pull up any paper things. You hang on a minute.
I sent on some stuff.
You sent me loads of stuff. Yeah,
don't
okay. Well, I'm just gonna. What?
You wouldn't want to be relying on Anthony and Martin, would you?
Oh Jesus, no! I said that last week. But there, yeah, I've I've the last episode to watch, but my mate told me you may as well not watch the last 2 episodes because it's crap. The last 2 episodes.
What did you make of
whatever
the
you
third
need to get.
episode?
No, it's not for me. You know what I mean? I know the truth, and there's the truth there. Look,
Yes.
this is the reality. Look, the reality headline. Look, that's reality, and that's Netflix. Okay,
Yes.
this is the young fella. This is the guy, killer who stabbed schoolgirl Elaine Adam in white hot anger in row over teddy bear, jailed for 23 years. Hassan Sentamu, 18, murdered aspiring human rights lawyer Elaine Adam, 15. She was only 15, and she was an aspiring human rights lawyer. Okay, as she stood up for a friend. Now that was March 13th, 2025. This is when this was put out. But look at this. This is the guy who did it, and this is the guy who they want us to believe who has done this. And
I know.
It's all about masculine talk. And what I got from it as well, as soon as they mentioned, what was it they mentioned? But it was again, the Tates, Andrew Tate. He's a bastard, that Andrew Tate. Come on, lads. You know what I mean? It's all about trying to stop men being men, young boys being young boys. You know what I mean? It's taking away their masculinity. That's what they're doing here.
I know.
And everybody who has watched this that I know has said, "Oh, it was brilliant. It was one of the best things."
No.
Okay, yeah, it was one of the best things. And then it's apparently Stephen Graham came out and said that they took her from a load of different cases around the thing. Well, why didn't they show a black young fella stabbing her instead of a white young fella then, if that's what you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is all an agenda, people. This is all an agenda. That's to
but
take
I
away
found
the masculinity.
that actually was on X. Somebody had put it up under another post, and that's how I found it. But if you go on Google now, you actually, all it says is that, it's not based on a real case. It's based on all different cases. But this was initially what was put out, that it was based on a true story. But like you saw the third episode, the fourth episode is literally all about the family. That's what it's all about. It's their story, you know. But I said this before. I've said it in every other episode that we spoke about it. The biggest thing that I got from that was lack of respect. And if you watch the young lad as well, he never takes responsibility for anything. You know, there's excuses after excuses been made, but he never owns up like properly to what he did, that he killed a girl, that he was responsible for taking her life. There was no accountability. You know, there's excuses for everything now instead of somebody owning up. And where's the days of apologizing for things and taking responsibility? It's just excuses after excuses.
Yeah. It is.
And that's what I got from it.
Yeah, I got the same from it. You know what I mean? But I'll be honest with you. I knew about the true story before I watched it. I didn't watch it not knowing. You know what I mean? I knew about it. So I was skeptical from the start either way. And I was picking holes in it from the first episode, as I said, and the black girl hitting the young fella and getting away with it. You know? And
I said that as well. Yeah, and she got away with it. Nothing she got given out to the teacher, but there was no mention about that in the mainstream media. It was all, you know, it was all to do with the young lad. Never mind that girl went and hacked a young lad and kicked the crap out of him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you know, again, it's okay to do that. Like I've seen umpteen videos from around Europe, all around Europe, of black kids bashing white kids on their own, and they're getting danced on by 10 and 12 black kids. Mainstream media don't talk about it. But if that was 10 white kids dancing on a black kid, it would be all over the place. And you only have to look at what Tommy Robinson is locked up for. They're telling you contempt of court. Okay. Tommy Robinson was told not to release the documentary Silenced. Okay. The documentary Silenced was about a school, and if you remember it went back a few years. I think it was 21, 22, that the school, I'm just going to stop sharing that the school, I think he was a Syrian young fella, was attacked by a white young fella, and he said it was waterboarding. What happened was, when you look back through all of this, and Tommy Robinson went with secret videos and secret recordings and the whole lot, the teachers even told Tommy Robinson what happened, that the young fella that bashed that young fella, the young fella from Syria, told this young fella, he told this young fella he was going to rape his 9-year-old sister. That's when the young fella bashed him. There was nothing about that brought up. And then counsellors in the area were paid off, teachers were paid off, everybody was paid off, and the school was closed down in the end. This young fella got something like a couple of 100,000 from a GoFundMe, and the family were relocated, and all lies, all lies. And because he released that, he was held in contempt of court, and he's locked up now to this day, still in solitary confinement, and it's wrong. Whatever you think about Tommy Robinson or his beliefs or anything like that, he's a damn good journalist. I'll give him that much. I really will. You know what I mean? Like, he's brilliant at what he does.
And he was telling the truth.
And of course he was telling the truth. You know what I mean? Sure, he came here 2 years ago to cover the protest as well, and nobody had talked to him. Like Herman told me, don't talk to Tommy Robinson, don't, that political suicide. And okay, I get that. But he gave a good account of it. You know what I mean? He told the truth where nobody else was telling the truth. There was no other Irish media coming in here to help us out here. You know what I mean? Yeah. What's this? I suspect Stockport stabbings was a psyop to get riots and Starmer's solution. You know, listen, that was a terrorist attack, mate. Plain and simple. Like, that young went out to do that. Like, you know what I mean? He was a radical. He's radicalized a whole lot. So I don't know. Black people make up 3% of the overall UK population, but they also make up 28% of the population of young offenders institutions. They are also the second largest demographic in adult prisons. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, what's also getting on my nerves as well is when you see, we'll say about that Stockport killer and a couple of the other ones, to start showing pictures of them when they were a child. Like, what's that about? I mean, is there pictures of, like, you know, Ted Bundy when he was a child, and you know, we'll say all the other serial killers, oh, you know, God love them, like, oh, look at the cute picture of them when they're a child. They're now adults, and they kill somebody. Why are they going around showing these pictures? Like, it's like they're looking for sympathy for them or something. They've gone.
That's exactly what it is.
Somebody.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's for sympathy, for to say he wasn't a jihadist, he wasn't a radical, he was just a young fella, a poor young fella with mental health issues. Bullshit. You look at the amount of radicalized attacks and everything that has gone on in England and even Ireland here now. People walking around with swords and people chasing people with swords. That never happened in this country before. Never. You know what I mean? I'm 56 years of age. Well, probably 456 as you think, but I'm not. But you know what I mean? Like, that never happened. Like, I remember when I was a kid, the Irish had the best murder record in the world. Okay, because we only had a handful of people living here, but there wasn't that many murders here. There was hardly any murders here. And if there's a murder here, everyone knew about it. If there was an attempted abduction or an attempted rape, the person's face was all over the news. It was everywhere.
I have said this 101 times. E-fits were given, proper descriptions were given, hair colour, eye colour, height, weight, etc., etc. Like, listen, this thing, Orla, oh my God, there's a man going round. What man?
When I was growing up, Orla, Garda Patrol used to be on, right? And they used to be talking about women's boutiques being bleeding robbed down the country. Oh, and such a dress. If you get offered this dress, you know, contact the police. They were the minimal crimes we had. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean? And now look at what we have. The country is on its knees with crime. Like,
look at the mental health thing as well. What have we just said about adolescence? It's excuses after excuses after excuses. No responsibility is being taken.
Brainwashing
for conduct nowadays. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody says things, like stupid things and all that. But where's the responsibility? Where is the, oh my God, I'm so sorry I said that, or I'm so sorry I did this. Everything now is making excuses.
Yeah. Somebody's just posting, Tommy Robinson is a man who defends the truth and puts his life on the line to do so. It's true. I see a picture of one of the poor girls covered in blood at Stockport. You can't understand it. Yeah, it's the same. What's this fella here? Tommy is in prison while Hugh Edwards walks free. Exactly. The UK is in dire situation and their so-called justice system. Child killers have better time than Tommy does in solitary. Yes, they do. KO. The Journal today did a fact check on Stockport, claiming wasn't an immigrant, but son of, that's true, but claims not radicalized, not terrorism, and not Islam, for fuck's sake. And that's a fact check. Well, it's also been proven that his father was brought over there by Keir Starmer. Starmer was one of the was the lawyer that got him into the country. His father was a warlord in where I'm trying to think where he was from. It could have been Congo or somewhere like that, but there was something like 9 of them brought in. Under some sort of protection deal or something like that. So his father was a warlord in the Congo or the Democratic Republic, whatever. That's a fact. You know what I mean? People know that, you know. Gardaí released an e-fit about an attempted rape in a park in Drogheda a year later. Yeah, you're dead right. They did.
A year later. That's a lot of good.
Yeah. When I was growing up, we had local guards. Everyone knew who the local copper was.
Yes.
And you get a kick up the arse, or he'd get off the bike and he'd give you a chase and he'd catch you and he'd give you a kick up the fucking hole, and that'd be it then, you know, unless you really did something. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one with the Galway priest stabbing, haven't heard nothing about that either, Al. You're right, yeah. That priest.
Yeah,
now I heard
he
was shouting Allah Akbar as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, God be with the days when I had triples made the front page. When CIW and triples made this, I'm not getting that. Yeah, it's because the Catholic faith being lost. It is being lost, you're right. Teenagers and MHR was the reason. The Garda and the government covering up all illegal migrants' crimes. Yes, definitely are. Definitely.
But if that was you, Paul, or that was me, or that was anyone else, we would plaster all over the paper down to the name of what her dog was called. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just...
The lads just said that he was from Rwanda. He was a warlord in Rwanda. Yeah, thanks very much, lads, for that. Yeah, a sword is a bit much. Shillelagh will apply. Yeah, okay. The local cop would kick you up the hole that's what used to happen. You know what I mean? All the stabbing and murders that involve non-nationals, media blackout.
But they're not afraid of guards anymore. There's no respect for guards. There's no respect for teachers. There's no respect for anybody nowadays. There's excuses made for everything, and there's no responsibilities and no apologies made for anything. There's always all mental
blaming on it.
It's just.
What are they blaming on it? Well, they're blaming kids. It's masculine. It's toxic masculinity that they have because they have no. They don't care anymore. You know what I mean? This is what they're trying to pump out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know kids. I know boys that they can be a handful and all that, but you tell them to do something, they do it. You know what I mean? They listen to you. You know what I mean?
Look, my son's 23. If he did anything, he'd still get it and might apologise for it. And he's 23.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Allah Akbar, God is good. What happened to his followers? Yeah. Who was running up sand dunes on beefy buff? Fair play. Yeah. The Gardaí used to go gay, white, yeah. Garda don't respect the Irish people anymore. Yeah. They changed the law. Guards are not allowed to serve in their home country. Here's the last one. G was up to 26th of Feb, sent back for another mental assessment. Who was that? Your man, was it? Yeah. But,
look, there's still some good guards out there, but they're up against it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of them leaving, Orla, you know?
Yeah, they're probably the good ones. They can't look for what's going on anymore. Do you know?
Exactly, yeah. But again, and then we have in Dublin City, you have Gardaí harassing people for nothing. You know what I mean? Like what happened to me. But I'm just going to play this video for a second. This is Dublin. This is Dublin the other day. I meant to play it the other day, but I'll play it now. This is a guard just harassing somebody who's standing there, who's on doing videos.
You want me for something? They asked you, did you want me for something? I turned around, you were standing looking at me. I said, "Girl, do you want me for something?"
Yeah, you're the first person that said that to me all day.
That's all I said.
Well, I've looked at about 150 people.
Yeah, but that's all I said. It wasn't cheap.
Yeah, you said it in a lovely way, did you? What are you looking at, guard?
No.
Yeah, you did.
What are you looking at? That didn't clear my mouth. I said, "Do you want me, guard?" Are you looking at? Are you looking at me, guard?
Oh, it's changed now, wasn't it?
No,
do you not remember what you said? Why have it on camera? Why have it on camera?
Why have you on camera? What are me either?
Yeah, come on, go for it.
Go for what?
Take record wherever you like.
Yeah, I'm recording. I always do.
Good man.
You're allowed to record with your eyes can see.
Did I say you weren't? Did I say you weren't?
I never got cheeky with you.
You did, yeah.
I just said, "Girl, why are you looking at me?" Close your mouth. What do you mean a fucking mouth? If you hadn't got the badge on, you wouldn't be doing that, would you? Take the jacket and the badge off you. Take the jacket, take them off you. You see what? No, call me a mouth. No, you called me a mouth. No, you called me a mouth. I never slagged you.
Take me back.
I never slagged you. No, you called me a mouth walking away. I said you wouldn't call me out without the badge. Would you think I'd let you? I wouldn't let you call me out without the badge. I wouldn't let you call me a milk without the badge, because we'd end up knocking like anybody else, like a normal person. I would. I'd have a knock off you without that badge. Of course I would. Have a knock off you any day. Have a knock off you any day. Take your badge off me. Yeah. TikTok famous. Best guard there. Take care of the other people. You know what I'm on about? Take care of them all. Don't mind the Irish. You fucking muppet.
Now, there you go. There's no need for it, like, you know what I mean? No need for it whatsoever. But to say that's exactly, well, I'm not saying that's exactly what happened to me. I actually told the guard to take off his jacket and we'd see how big he was. But he was told how many times there to take out your badge and take off this and take off that, and he just brushed it off. You know what I mean? Mm. Whereas the guard who arrested me had to get an arrest with me, so that's why I was arrested. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But I said exactly what he said, something similar to what he said in that video. You know, but that's it. They're going after Irish people and they're saying this and they're saying that, and then they start, oh, you're shouting. Who's shouting? I'm not shouting. Oh, you're getting aggressive. Then they start that, and that's when you start to get aggressive. You know what I mean? Because you weren't aggressive, and that's what they do. It's a tactic they use. You know what I mean? They're brilliant at it. I have to say, brilliant at it. But then when they don't get you to react, then they punch you in the back a few times and then arrest you. You know, so yeah, that's what happens. You know what I mean? I've seen it all before. You know what I mean? But I'm going to. No, we'll move on to that now in a minute. Hang on. Let me just check it out. I have Fitzsimons. Boom. Yeah, hang on. Hold on. Maybe a minute. We're going to move on, Orla, to something that, listen, we were privy to at the start. This all happened to us. The Irish Freedom Party has their president, Herman Kelly, has been challenged for the presidential role by, there's Herman there. Isn't he gorgeous? Oh, Jesus, love him. Yeah. But it has been challenged now by this man here, Dermot Gaffney. And Dermot is, was he the candidate coordinator or the election coordinator, wasn't he, when we were there?
I think he was election coordinator.
Yeah. But Dermot is doing exactly what we tried to do. We tried to do this the democratic way as well, didn't we, Orla? We put in a motion for Herman to step down and for Anthony to step in. And then Herman came out, didn't he, with all his bullshit about Anthony. Anthony tried to set up a coup and nothing like that happened. We all know nothing like that happened. And I've been told by a few people this week that that's what they've been told. And the people who rang me, I told them the truth, and they all know the truth now. But like, there was never a coup. Like, there was 8 of us in a group that were candidates that wanted a new leader. That's what happened, wasn't it? In a nutshell. And then when push came to shove, then that didn't happen because a couple of people backed out and sided with Herman, and then Herman lashed out at all of us then and said we did this and we did that, and then we were members of a vigilante group, which we were never, and that we took over Ireland first. Anthony took over Ireland first. That never happened either. No, that never happened. You know what I mean? Like, Anthony was approached by Ireland first. And
yes. He was approached by Ireland first, and they went into discussions, and it went to a vote with the AC as well there, and he was voted in properly and everything like that. And sure, you know, the vice president is Derek. You know, Sarah Herity, who is the vice chairman, has said the same thing as well, and she was one of the co-founders of Ireland First. So it's all utter nonsense. And look, we sent in our resignation emails with our own reasons as to why we left the party. Do you know what I mean? We all had our own reasons as to why we left. And anyone who's spouting utter nonsense otherwise will then, you know, cop on to yourself.
I'm just going to read this out here. This is from Dermot Gaffney. Dermot Gaffney National Come On organiser, Irish Freedom Party, Pan-Irish Nationalism, PIN. Now, this is what he wants. This is what he's planning. Accorda, I have been asked by a few members to detail the submissions in my manifesto if my campaign for presidency of the Irish Freedom Party. The policy of most interest is that of pan-Irish nationalism. Many of our policies and beliefs are shared amongst other nationalist parties, and I believe, as do many others, that there is more to unite us than divide us. Yeah. With this in mind, I believe that with my election as interim president, that I will have a mandate to build the foundations for nationalist unity throughout peaceful coexistence. As a first step toward a working dialogue, I shall reach out to other parties to create a committee to oversee inter-party relationships on Orla Ord, the High Council. I'd like to be a member of the High Council. The High Council shall consist of one representative from each party and shall ensure consistent dialogue for the resolution of inter-party conflict where it arises. The High Council shall strive to coordinate marches and protests to avoid clashes in locations and time. The High Council may enforce media discipline on parties and other members. The High Council shall foster national unity as its main objective. And through building a working relationship with the leaders and leading lights of the national movement, the High Council will form the bedrock for the future salvation of our nation. Breaches of the Code of Conduct of High Council shall be adjudicated by a referee within the High Council, or expulsion may result. I believe that amalgamation with other parties at this stage to be premature, but not undesirable. Yet we can create and unify bodies now that may be a nucleus for a greater organisation to come that will lead us to victory. It's Michel Lemass, Dermot Gaffney. So that's what he's planning now, a High Council. But I didn't like what he said there, interim. Why interim? I thought he was going for the... No, listen, maybe he doesn't want to do it full time. I don't know. You know what I mean? But
no, well, Dermot said he only wants to do it for the time being until another... definitely not. Until another leader is found.
Paul for president, you'll have
as I know. Yes, Paul.
yeah.
Paul, you go for the job.
Pan-nationalism, way to go. Okay, Frank. What did you say there, Orla? Sorry?
What part?
Oh, it's okay. The president we have now, Mr. Bilbo Baggins from The Hobbit. What a disgrace he's been. Is this Herman you're talking about? Yeah. Okay. Oh, no. Sorry. No, not Herman. We're talking the little fella in the park. Sorry, that president. I was talking about the president today. Jade Chris. No, Frank, there should be one party which is well coordinated. Even if people don't full get along, eventually the policies will improve and change as time goes on. Yes, well, that's what we're trying to do, Jaden. We're trying to be that party. And I think
well, Anthony has said it several times that he's willing to sit down and talk to anyone and have a cup of coffee if anyone wants a civilized conversation. And I have to say I agree with him. I'm sick to death of all this online nonsense and loads of crap being thrown around the place. I'm not getting into ins or outs, but you know, I have Herman has said a couple of things and I have replied to him over it, so I don't need to say anything more over that. But as I said, I sent in my resignation letter, you sent in yours, so the proof's there.
But I didn't make mine public, Orla. That was the difference between me and everyone else, and you. Neither did you. Like, we didn't.
I don't think I've ever formally said I'm gone from IFP. I think I've said it on this show, but I've never formally put it up even online because I said I didn't want to. What was the point?
Yeah, I was the same. I didn't bother.
We were just moving on, and that was it. Yeah, doing our own thing.
Yeah. And never once have we partook in any of that online bullshit. You know what I mean? But now lies are being told and people need to know the lies. And I'm going to be honest with you. I know you probably can't come on and do this because you already have a case or something going on. You have something going on in the background or something like that. I know that. But I'm putting out the offer there now. If you want to know the truth, I will set up a live stream here, myself, Anthony, and Martin. And I'll invite all of you on who told lies, and you can come on and let the people... You can tell your lawyers and we can blow you out of the water with the facts that we have and the documents that we have. So don't be listening to people's lawyers. And I do hope Dermot gets the presidency of the IFP, because at the moment, nobody wants to deal with the IFP while Herman Kelly is in charge of the IFP. And it's a dictatorship, but that's all it is, a dictatorship. Because last year, I got a call off someone who told me, Paul, Herman is losing followers here, going on with Ciara Connolly and doing this, that, and the other with the transgender fella, whatever, the transgender one. And I rang him. I asked, I said, listen, don't. And he didn't listen. Other members of the party come on and told him the same thing. He didn't listen. We asked him to fix a problem that we had in Kilkenny and Carlow. He didn't listen. And now this is where they are now. We tried to take over the presidency from Herman in December. And he turned it all around and told lies, and people are listening to the lies. So people, if you want to know the truth, come to me. Come to Anthony. Anthony, I'll sit down with a cup of coffee with you and you can ask me any questions you want and I can give you the answers and it'll all be truth.
And we all said for conversations to be had and sit down and talk face to face, and that was all denied.
Yeah.
And as I said, I'm not getting into that to that other stuff. If somebody wants to ask me something, they can ask me. If you want to know the truth, contact me. I'll tell you the truth because I was part of it. I was privy to it. I was one of the people who was involved. So you can't get any clearer than that. Herman Kelly, from what I've seen, craves the spotlight. I think I've seen him on the US News show and GB News. Yes. Listen, and he's very good at what he does, I have to say. He's a good showman, you know what I mean? But that's about all he is. And he's a one-trick pony as well. Better than Politburo. Herman is suspect. Yeah. Anthony for president. Well, Anthony is president of Ireland. Anthony's president of Ireland first. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Michael John Dennis. I don't trust Herman Kelly. Well, I don't trust him anymore either. So that makes two of us. And I'd say,
but we always said that if anybody wanted to have a conversation about anything, then you sit down face to face and have that conversation. Because I guarantee a conversation coming from me and a conversation coming from somebody else would probably be completely different.
Everybody has my number.
Same.
Everybody. Yeah. I'm in
same
nearly
same
every
with Anthony.
Group. Yeah. You can contact me anytime you want. You know what I mean? I always said it would turn on a tuppence. Yeah.
And you know what the saddest thing about this is that I was thinking about the likes of the Ardèche last year and all that, and leading up to the Ardèche and everything like that. And do you know what? We all, like, at that stage, we were all getting on so well. Do you know what I mean? And, do you know, we're all looking forward to the Ardèche, and there was good things going on. There was protests going on, and, do you know, like, there was a good atmosphere around at that stage. It's just such a shame the way things went.
Trish Clark just wrote up there, I almost didn't vote for Anthony in Kildare South because of the leadership. But when I met him and at his meeting in Castledermot, I knew he was a decent, honest man.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm the same. And that's why I'm in Ireland Force with Anthony now, because I know what he's all about. He's an honest man. He is an honest man. You know?
Yeah. What you see with Anthony is what you get. Do you know what I mean? He's a decent guy. And anyone that is out there purposely telling lies about him should be ashamed of themselves. Because Anthony has never done anything on anyone. And Anthony always puts it out there that he'll sit down and he'll have a cup of coffee and chat to anyone. And he doesn't lose the head or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? He acts civilized, you know? And, you know, he's doing his best. We're all doing our best in a very, very difficult situation.
Yeah, Karen Green just put up there, I left the IFP 2 years ago due to lack of support and not being heard by Herman. Very frustrating. Well, I'm being honest with you, Karen, that's why we all left as well. But we tried to save the party before we left. You know what I mean? Like I only said this the other night as well. We went from 41% in the polls in the local elections, just after the local elections. And then within a week, we were down to 16% because of different stuff that Herman let happen in the party. And that's why we went to 16%. But listen, we all left. All the good, I'm not saying there's bad candidates and good candidates, but all the decent skins that were there all went, and we're at the coming here now to help Ireland first. And this is what we want to do, because we are here to help Ireland first. Nobody else. Ireland first, and its Indigenous people. That's it.
And look at Glenn. Like, you know, Glenn was the only elected councillor, and he left as well because he was so unhappy.
Yeah. And what did Herman do? Attacked them. Instead of saying, fair play to you, Glenn, thanks for all the work you done, he came out and said, you didn't even print a motion, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. And that didn't gain much favour either now, I have to say.
It didn't go down well at all.
Yeah. Ken Donnelly is putting up all the attempted child abductions and disgrace videos. We are seeing all from foreigners. Only videos of Irish are still doing silly stuff like the two lads at the Garden of Remembrance. I seen that, yeah. Was that them having sex or whatever? If you know the truth, don't ask a policeman. If you want to know the truth, don't ask a policeman. Kitty Cuddles. I watched that on YouTube last night. Trish Clark. Yeah. Met him. Didn't warm to him. Not arguing with me gut. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Listen, I was led in by him. He was good. I enjoyed every minute in the party until I didn't enjoy it. And that's why I left. So, you know, if something is wrong, we should always confront it. It's part of who we are. Exactly. That's what I'm saying to you. You have a problem with me? Don't go splouting shite online and saying I'm this and I'm that and I'm whatever. Ring me and we can discuss it and I'll tell you the truth. You know what I mean? I don't mind. I've nothing to hide. You know what I mean? Anthony is solid. Anto is solid. Yes.
Yeah.
Jade and Chris, that happened to me as well, Trish. I nearly voted. I didn't vote IFP until I saw Glenn say he would promote libertarian values. Herman Kelly does not know the tax code even. Yeah, I know. Well, but he knows about migrants coming in and he knows this and he knows that. I voted for Anthony, so did my friends.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Gemma had the same problems with ACI. Protests are okay. I get together, but government is strictly under orders to ignore us, crush us. That's exactly what they're under. Yeah. Backstabbers. My neighbour has a stutter. I won 50 brick playing snap with him. Okay. Michael John Dennis. I got the truth about Herman from Gemma. Gemma OD, is it? Yeah. Philip Dwyer doing more great work with exposing the potential iPass centre in Cookstown. The drone takes it to another level. We all need a drone. I have one here. I'm just actually downloading the software there now. Oh no, Paul. Oh no, I know Paul from the early days. Yeah. Yeah, have my stamp, mucker. Fair play to you. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
But I will say this, like, you actually remember during the time of the elections when your posters were being burnt and you were being threatened and everything, and there was no support. Like, we were supporting you, but there was no support over that. And that was an absolute and utter disgrace.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah. You just got it. Oh, that's shit, you know. Philip Dwyer. I'm just going to put
it wasn't shit. That should have been spoken out about because that was a disgrace for one nationalist to be attacking another like that. An absolute and utter joke.
Yeah. It's true. It is true. I tell you where I'm going to go. Somebody just posted up there about Philip Dwyer there. Philip Dwyer doing more great work, exposing the potential iPass centre in Cookstown. I'm actually going to play his video now. Now, it's 5 minutes long. I'm going to go and make myself a cup of coffee. So let me just present this and share this. And I'll come back to that now in a minute.
Okay.
All right.
Good evening, folks. Philip Dwyer here, citizen journalist, and just to report on, yet again, suspicion of another direct provision centre being built in Cookstown Industrial Estate, right in my backyard here, actually in Tala. So it looks to me like this new government are equally as bad as the previous government. They're hell-bent on going forward with creating accommodation for strange men and fake refugees, let's call them, to come into the country, put our women and children in danger, and throw our immigration laws out the window. Yeah, so I paid a visit there today, and I'd just like to say for the record, and let people know, this channel does not condone any illegal activity, any violence or criminality. But as I said, this building has been brought to my attention by a couple of concerned workers around the area that work close by this building. So I've tried to ask the lads inside working. All seem to be Irish, by the way. I haven't seen any foreign workers there, no security. I have some drone footage as well, which I'll show you. And it looks to me quite suspicious. I've inquired with the planning section of South Dublin County Council. There's no record of any planning application gone in for that building. The last one was in 2016 from the previous owners, J and K Glass. I'm not 100% sure who owns the building right now. It could still be J and K Glass for all I know. But as I said, this could be a genuine case. The people I asked inside the building, the workers said it was going to be a gym. But as I said, there is no planning whatsoever on record for anything like that. And work is going ahead, as you'll be able to see clearly. So it looks to me, folks, quite suspicious. We could be wrong. If anybody out there has any information in regarding this building, what is proposed for it, and what they think is going to go ahead, please let me know, and please only give me verifiable information, folks, as well. I have to go on verification. So, as I say, it's just it's at the moment it's a suspicion of a direct provision centre, but the locals and the information I'm receiving, unofficial, unverified. I have to stress that, folks, is that it will be a direct provision centre, but it's not verified, and a lot of secrecy around the building. They're hiding everything at the back of the building. Cars are parked at the back of the building out of sight, and staff members, no supervisor would come out and speak to me. So yeah, let's see what happens. How you doing? Oh yeah, what's going on here, lads? I've heard reports that there's a direct provision centre going in.
A gym is hard, you know, bud.
Huh?
A gym.
A gym?
Gym.
All the plasterboard there. Yeah. And partitions for a gym.
Yeah.
Is there one of the supervisors there now?
No, not yet.
What's going on in there? A few concerned locals have been worried about what's happening.
Sorry?
A few concerned people have been in touch with me asking what's going on in there. Is it they're thinking it's a direct provision centre?
No. We get somebody fast there now in a second.
Will you? Thanks. Concerned citizen has approached me, let me know that they suspect that there's something going on here again. And as you can see from the footage, there's definitely works going on. There's no planning or anything. The thing is,
I only came up here today.
did you? There's people have to get in touch saying there might be a direct provision centre going in
I
there.
don't have a clue.
You don't know. You're only working here, yeah?
Just came up today, yeah. Just do it. Yeah, not sure now what the crack is.
There's a lot of work going on, a lot of secret work going on, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know what the crack is.
You don't know. If you knew it was a direct provision centre, would you still work in it? Would you not? Well, it'd be a great move if you didn't, if you down tools and walked away from it. But right, guys, we'll see what happens here. Trying to get someone to talk to me here. That lad's at the saying it's a gym going into this place, 50 4th Avenue, Cookstown Industrial Estate. And let's see, if it's a gym, it's a gym. Well and good. No objections there. Well, they need planning permit, but it doesn't look to me like there is, you know. If it was a gym, they just closed the door there, folks. You can see that green door there, yeah. So as far as I'm aware, there has been planning. Is it a direct provision centre, do you know, boss? No? Is it a direct provision centre going in? Are they putting bedrooms in there? This lad is walking away as well, so...
Paul, can't hear you.
Sorry, I put myself on mute there while I was doing what I was doing. Hope everyone can see what's going on here. Fitzy using this platform to bash Herman with Orla and the rest. Oh, here we go. Jesus Christ, yeah.
Get rid of that. Look at the language in that. It's disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I only just seen it there. Should we know who that is again? But let's not say too much about it. Fitzy is using this platform. I am losing my platform. Yeah, you're right. But
Paul, as you said yourself, you know, you're telling the truth.
Yeah, I'm telling the truth. Yeah, how many iPads has Tala got at this stage? Millions of them. All now, there you go, Paul. All members of this new party are decent, honest folk. Yes, we are. If it's a gym, the council will have plans the public can know about them. But there's not. You know what I mean? Gobshite's back. Yeah. And the gobshite's back. Yeah, you're right, Chris. Yeah, happens every time, doesn't it? We get one, but I what I'll do is I'll just ban him from the studio. Good luck to you. That's what we do. He's
It is,
mad to
Michael,
print
disgusting
comments
language.
there now.
We don't tolerate that sort of language. It's disgusting.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. All good there at first.
And these,
then
bear in mind, I laugh at this, those messages before used to be always slagging off Herman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and putting
exactly.
him down and accusing him of this, that, and the other. And I had said, don't be putting up, we shouldn't be putting up messages like that because,
Yeah. And by the way, people, I'm not bashing anyone here. I'm telling the truth. That's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? If you think that's me bashing people, okay, fair enough. But that's not what I'm doing here. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling exactly what happened, what went on. You know what I mean? None of the Herman Kelly
Paul,
bullshit.
There's a motion there from Michael Leahy.
Is that
Owen Sullivan asked to share?
Okay, hold on. Bear with me there. Hang on a minute. Was it sent to me? It was sent to me?
Yes, it was. Yeah. He asked if it could be shared because it's coming from Michael Leahy.
Okay. Paul, hi Paul, watching you live. Thanks for having me on the show. Yes, okay. Yeah, okay. I'll read that. I'll read that out in a minute, and yeah, no problem. I will. But let me just see. Have I got that? Was that sent to me? Did somebody?
Yeah.
Did you send that to me?
Yeah.
Okay, bear with me. I'll put.
No,
that
Owen sent it to you. Owen sent it to you.
Okay, bear with
me. Because it's been released by Michael.
Okay, let me just.
It's the writing.
Yes,
writing. You know what I mean? It's the formal motion or something like that. He asked for it to be.
I have it there now. I'm gonna read it now. I'll read it now. Okay. I'm not gonna put it up. I'm just gonna read it out.
No, just read it out. Fine. Yeah, he just asked for it to be.
This was forwarded on. Dear fellow OFP members, following his motion, I'm proposing for the forthcoming Ardesh on April 26th. The motion that the party remove the president, Mr. Herman Kelly, and appoint a 3-person committee to initiate negotiations with other nationalist groups in the country, in the country, with a view to creating unity within the nationalist movement. This committee may seek the outside help of a neutral person with proven facilitation skills who would chair negotiation meetings. This committee will report back to the membership within 3 months with its recommendations. During that period, the committee will perform the functions of president. Okay, so the proposer is Michael Leahy, the seconder is Owen O'Sullivan. And I'm going to read, I've come to the conclusion that without unity in the national movement, we have little chance of electoral success and little hope of saving our country. Unfortunately, I believe the IFP may now be the barrier of that unity. We have lost far too many excellent members over the past few months and now spend much time infighting with former members. We need an honest and open negotiation with the other nationalist groups. Everything must be on the table, including the party name and leadership. There is no point in simply asking others to join our party when they have already made significant efforts within their own organizations. Yeah, I believe that this will be necessary to have an independent person from outside of the Irish nationalist movement to convene such negotiations and to act as an honest broker. I have identified a person prepared to do this, whom I believe would enjoy and the trust of everybody. I will confirm the name at the Ardesh. I ask for your support in this motion. Sincerely, Michael Leahy, former chairman. Now, there you go.
That was released earlier on today.
Yeah, that's it, Paul. Not in Finglas. Okay, what happened in Finglas? You're right, Paul. At a certain point, the truth needs to be told. Exactly. There's a new bypass in Finglas is not going to happen. We're getting nasty if they try. Well, listen, people need to be coming out and sorting it. You know what I mean? What did Trish say there? You're right, Paul. At a certain point, the truth needs to come out. Yeah, 100%, Paul. I'm hearing that. Fair play to you. Ryan Corcoran. When can I tell you my new coming on the show to call tomorrow on a message pop? So, yeah, Ryan, I will ring you. We live in times when intelligent people get silenced, so stupid people don't get offended. It is true. It's true. We're not voting our way out of this. I know you keep saying that, Eddie, but we need to try something, mate. We need to try something. I'm going to be honest, Eddie. We're not going to fight our way over. So it's vote or fight, and we're not going to fight. There's not enough to fight. I'm sorry. Good news, I broke the world record for leapfrog. Bad news, I got chased out of the mosque by 100 Muslims. Jane Chris. Steady, Eddie. You could try start making attempts to succeed. Okay. Native Irish. You think you have stuff on Herman? Well, we have proper stuff on Herman. Listen, I'm not going to start talking shite about Herman the whole lot because, again, I'm not going to be a disgruntled employee. One of these that you'll just say, oh, just because, because he was thrown out of the party. I wasn't thrown out of the party, and I was actually asked to come back to the party after I had left the party by people in power in the party, apparent power. So, and I refused. We can't have division within the ranks. Yeah, I agree with you, but we can't have people in the ranks that people don't trust. So, under radar folk are watching in fingers. No iPass coming here. Fair play. Well said. Thank you all, Jaden.
We've always said it, Paul. You know what I mean? If anybody wants to have a conversation with us, they can sit down and say it to us. Because I'm not getting into nonsense. I've never come on here and slated Herman or anything like that.
Yeah, but as I said, I won't stop telling the truth.
We always got on well. Actually, I always liked Herman, and I got on very well with him on the media side of things, because I was doing the Facebook page and I was doing the Instagram page and all that, and I got on very well with him. Do you know?
Yeah.
And Michael Leahy as well. I done a lot for Michael Leahy. Actually,
Michael's a good lad.
Yeah. I remember in March going to Castlecomer and helping with leaflets and stuff like that. And then I went around Carlow and did a huge amount of leafleting for Michael Leahy, because he was running for the elections at that stage, and I have great respect for Michael.
Yeah. I like Michael myself, he's a good man. Lad, you just hit 600 there. Fair play to you people. Keep pumping it out there. Pump it out again there. And if you can, buy us a coffee, and you can get us there you can watch us live on X at FitzyDub, at Anthony L. Casey, at Rugamorph27. You can get us on Facebook on Paul Fitzsimons, and at www.theirishchannel.com/live. You can also send us in a message there on 089 203 1521. There's a few messages that are coming in there now. People could start claiming their homes as part of the new sovereign nation and use trusts to reduce as much tax as to the government to starve it out, and using counter currency. Okay. Hope this works, because I don't want to end up in a communist caliphate thing.
Yeah, I know.
What was the point of our fallen that went before us? It's true. Confederation Ireland. Yeah.
I know. Well, we keep saying it. We're trying our best. Do you know what I mean?
Paul, can you play my clip next of Hans Hermann Hoppe? Okay, I don't know what this is about, Hans Hermann Hoppe. Let me see what he's at there. Can you play this one? Yeah, okay. 6 minutes. Oh. Let me just see. Okay. So listen, we'll give it a go. We'll have a few minutes there to finish off my sandwich. So we'll play that now in a minute. I don't know what it is, but it's Hans Hermann Hoppe. What's it about, Jaden? If Paul is a racing, why is he standing so? Oh, look. Doesn't even look like me, Jaden. That doesn't even look like me, mate. Look at this. Now, look at this, what he's at sending me now. Look. He's mad, he is. He's fucking mental. Look. If Paul is racist, why is he standing side by side in the march with Dr. King in the 60s?
Sorry, Jaden. He was around in the 1860s, not the 1960s.
Listen, I'm going to play this. I'll
So we'll watch a minute or two of it and see what it's about.
Yeah, and then if it's shit, you can tell us in the comments. Okay, people. But Herman is a lovely chap. Yeah, fair play. What's Rommel saying? We are kittens compared to our father's generation, and this is the way the government walking all over us, following our father's footsteps, and this will be ended. But our generation are soft and weak. Yes, I agree. Herman is a lovely chap. It's a pity he's working for the EU as a snake. Okay, listen, the big cats as well. Okay, I'm just gonna. We'll go with this. I'll play this. If a minute or two, we'll see how it is, Jaden. And if people don't like it, you can put it in. So let's go with that.
About this cosmopolitanism. Yes, I travel around too. I have seen lots of parts of the world, but I would not want to live at any part of the world as a tourist. That is something entirely different. I'm also in favor of free trade, as I made perfectly clear. So I'm in favor of globalization in the sense of, yes, of course, I'm glad that the division of labor expands throughout the entire world, that we can benefit from things that people do in faraway places, and that we contribute something to their life by doing what we do at our place. But the idea that people who are very different can live in peaceful relationships next door to each other, I think is an illusion, unless you always close your door and don't care about your neighbors at all.
Can I come back with one quick point on this? We have to look at the economics of a globalized world. Global companies like mine, we have 50 nationalities that come from all the world. They become very similar very quickly, super quickly, if they have to fend for themselves and pay their lives for themselves. Google these places, they have nationalities. We need the whole world talent pool. And in London, all these various origins, they live close together with each other. And we move around. We have an origin, we have a place. I might be living in New York. So that's the world we live in. That's the world which empowers the prosperity potentials and not some kind of parochial community which wants to be homogenous. They can. I'm not against it, but they won't. They won't.
But that was not my point.
Yeah. Okay.
If people want to have that type of community, they are welcome to have that type of community. But people who don't want to have that type of community are currently forced to accept a type of community that they do not want.
Actually, shouldn't be any force, but why also we make a prediction, the kind of craving for homogeneous local, this will not be viable. These communities, which will vote for the Trumps and for the alt-right, they're actually not self-sustaining. They're the welfare recipients too, and I don't predict them to be prosperity engines. So I think it's a short-sighted craving for homogeneity, traditionalism, which is not going to deliver the world next prosperity stage.
If you look at all the world and see where the major conflicts are, where people kill each other, those are all multicultural societies. If you look at Switzerland, how did Switzerland solve this problem? By delegating most of the powers to the canton. They had a single canton, I think Jura or so, that was multilinguistic. They had terrorist acts there. Then they split the canton to create some sort of homogeneity. Look at all countries of the world, you will see whenever you have very different cultures, some sort of civil war situation exists.
Hans, a little add-on question. There are two regions that both of us know quite well. That is the Middle East and Austria-Hungary. And both seem to be cases in point that living together with different languages, religions, in the end doesn't work out. But then at the same time, it seems to be that it works out quite well. In the cities, in the harbors, in the centers like Vienna, like Izmir, Smyrna before, like Beirut. And wasn't it just nationalism and geopolitical interventionism that made all this powder cake explode? Or do you think there are some conditions under which this kind of conviviality is possible in the long run? Or do you think that it confirms your hypothesis that in the end it'll fail and have to fail?
No, what I think, there will be, of course, places, especially big cities, where you have more multiculturalism, if you will, and you have other areas where you will have less of it. Even in the big cities, however, there was some sort of physical separation between the different groups. You do have Greek districts Turkish districts, you have Czech districts, the German-speaking districts, and so forth, with some overlap.
Yeah. Okay, I get what you were saying as well there, you know what I mean? Like about people being forced into these, we're being forced into something that we don't want to be, you know, like all this multiculturalism, especially Sweden and everywhere else, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Yeah, well, I was saying I was talking to a lovely lady down here in Carlow. She's from Malta, and she was just saying Malta's destroyed, absolutely destroyed. And like Malta is, you know, it's a Christian country and it's only small, and yeah, destroyed.
Yeah, I know. It is crazy, look. Yeah.
Mm.
It is. Let me go through here. Lads, Lads, I'll break it down. People who don't want to live under multiculturalism are forced out. Okay, that's where you were coming from on that one. Cool. And multicultural societies, yeah. Malta is tiny. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is tiny.
I was in Malta a few years ago, and it's an absolutely beautiful country, like beautiful. And they all speak English over there because it was under British rule, I think it was until 1976. And she just said it's just destroyed.
It is. But I actually seen a video from Malta. Yeah, it's full of refugees as well now, isn't it, too? Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what I want to go with, Orla. We need to talk about vaccines here, didn't we? Did you
I sent you over a couple of things. And actually, there was 2 videos I sent on to you today. They're worth taking a look at because just you won't believe who's banging at the window against somebody else.
Oh, I've seen it. I have them there. I'm going to play them now in a minute. I'll pull them
yeah,
down
and wait, yeah. It's just, you had to laugh.
Yeah. But I'm just looking here. There's 1, 2. I think
they're all quite short anyway. All of them are only, is it a minute, less than a minute or 2 minutes? They're all quite short.
Yeah. How COVID was a fraud. Yeah. We know who that is. That's Dr. Mike Eden. I'll pull that up as well there now as well. But yeah, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. This is what you sent me today. This happened in Santry Woods, I think it was. Yeah, Santry Woods, which is in Dublin. Is it?
Yeah, there's 2 videos. I think it's where the car's pulling up and then the aftermath.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you watch this, people, this is what happened in Santry Woods. I think this was today. So watch this.
I wish you always listen to my car. Wait. This is my car. Get up. Get up. This is my car. Get up. This is my car. This is my car. Romeo, my boss will go. Go where you're from. Idiot. This is my car. Give me my key. Give me my key. Give me my key. Otherwise I kill you. Idiot. Out! Bastard! Out of here! Where are you? Out! Out! Indian bitch! Am I anchoring here? Fucking Pakistan. If you see me, bitch, come on, I put you here. Idiot! Get out of my head! Out! I'll be the video next time.
I'll just play the other one there now. Just bear with me.
Yeah.
I'll just play the other one.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Sir, please, can you come very fast because there is some crazy woman here. She has a stick and she's trying to get into my house, and she's it's Cedar View, Northwood Santry. Please. 73. I don't know what she's doing. She scared my kid and she's crying so much. And she has a stick and she's trying to ram my car with it. Sorry? She's 11 months. I don't.
That's what you have to put up with now in your housing estate.
But that's an African woman attacking an Indian family.
Yeah.
That's mad. That's mad.
Yeah. Whoopi Goldberg is not having a good day. No, she's not. An 800 million lawsuit against her, isn't there? Or on the View. Brilliant.
Somebody get up there about your birth cert that was chiseled in stone.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord God.
Someone else said it was on the Ark. It was in the Ark Covenant.
The Ark Covenant. Oh,
who still
God.
actually believes that we won World War II and saved Europe? Oh, I don't know. John Long. Have you heard of this John Pork fella? Free John Pork. Have you seen this one?
You were talking about that the other night. Yeah, the other night. What are we on? Sunday night. Yeah, you were saying that. But I haven't seen anything about it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, there's loads. Jesus, loads coming in here. I just watched a report of the rubbish situation. It's a proper shithole. Rats the size of Jack. Yeah, all over the place. Even the local cats are intimidated and outnumbered. Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, Birmingham's squaring bad.
Paul's suffering ageism tonight. Yeah, I'm getting hockey there over, am I? Shadow play.
Poor
probably
Paul.
Irish people on the street hiding behind the curtain at the minute to see if that black woman. Yeah, this is it. Look, you're afraid to come outside your door in your country. Get a grip, lads. You know what I mean? United Nations hope that no social houses look at the beamer. We're probably paying for the beamer. You know what I mean? They hate each other. Yeah, they do hate each other, the Indians and the blacks.
Yeah.
We're racist because we don't want savages like this one roaming around housing estates threatening us. Nobody talks about the wars between the different illegals that we also have to put up with. Yes, you're dead right.
I know during elections, now I didn't speak to too many of them, but there was a couple of ones during elections that were Indian, and they were here years, and they were not happy with what was going on either. Because they said they had left their country, they wanted a better life, and they didn't want the same thing happening again.
Yeah, I know. But I'll tell you what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the video of Mike Yeadon first, okay? And then there's Christine Anderson, and then we have, what's his name? RFK talking about different things. So let's go with Mike Yeadon first.
There has not been a pandemic. Dennis Rancourt's data shows that the all-cause mortality evidence data did not increase at all in the run-up to the declaration fraudulently by WHO of a pandemic. There is no public health emergency except that created by our governments. An inappropriate, fraudulent PCR test was used to give people the impression that they had a particular disease where they didn't. There were all the normal diseases. And then what happened was, in 3 different ways, people were treated badly through changed medical procedures that were imposed above the level of nation, briefly, mass ventilation of people inappropriately in hospitals that led to lots of deaths. In care homes, many people were given sedatives and respiratory depressants, which led to their deaths. My PhD was specifically in that area of opiates and respiratory depression. And in the community, people were denied life-saving antibiotics and died of bacterial pneumonia. There's your pandemic. There is no other pandemic. And based on this lie, we were told that vaccines were coming our way and would be our savior. 2 things. As I say, first, there's no pandemic, so you certainly don't need an experimental, rushed medical intervention. But secondly, even if you did, as someone who's worked in the industry for over 30 years, I am telling you, it's absolutely impossible to invent, test, clinically evaluate, and manufacture and then launch on global scale a complex biomedical product. It's absolutely impossible. It's not as close. It's years wrong. The fastest record prior to this was 6 years. And friends of mine who've worked all their lives in manufacturing of complex biological products tell me the methods development alone for the development of a reproducible manufacturing process itself takes a number of years. So whatever it is you think was done, I am telling you, there was not the development of a proper medical product. What I think happened was the advancement of materials that are intentionally toxic, and then they were sketchily advanced and jammed into people's arms, often coerced, sometimes even mandated, with the unsurprising effect that millions of people have died. So I think having heard what I've just said, that there was no pandemic and the lie was maintained in order to inject people en masse, I think 5.5 billion people, with an intentionally dangerous substance, 17 million of whom have died so far.
Yeah, people are just posting in there. COVID was for the jab. The jab was not for COVID. Let that sink in. Yes.
You remember I said about Moderna? Moderna was going bust. And then the shots came out and all of a sudden they were making millions and millions again. But they had the patent, which is the instructions, before the virus came out. Now, unless you're Mystic Meg with her crystal ball, how are you going to know a virus is coming out? And it actually takes between 10 to 15 years to make a vaccine. Yeah. And this was rushed through in 9 months.
Or was it rushed through it in 9 months? Like, it's physically impossible. They put out something like 6-7 billion doses around the world. 7 billion people were actually, there's no way it'd take 12 years or something like that to make 7 billion doses. So
we don't believe the numbers anyway. Do you know what I mean? No. And we don't.
Dennis Carr, how can't understand why the nationalist movement is pushing him for president? Total unsuitable and making a mockery for the movement and turn off what's trying to come on board. How can't understand why the nationalist movement? I'm not pushing him for president. You know what I mean? No, I don't think any of us are, like, you know what I mean? But he has a good media team there, and listen, somebody will do it. Young, healthy children dropping dead suddenly, which is normalised. Yes.
Yeah.
People
you see people now, like you're seeing more and more with, say, footballers and different things like that. And again, it's all been just normalised now. Sudden death. Do you know? It's not normal for somebody in their 20s to drop dead unless they have a very serious heart condition or something else seriously wrong with them. It is not normal for anyone in their 20s to be dropping dead.
Someone just said the jobs were sitting in warehouses well before 2020. Yes.
Look, David Martin has those patents and things like that. And they were around long before this so-called virus came along. And patents are the instructions.
Yeah.
And I feel very sorry for Mike Egan because he got absolutely hockeyed out of it. Like, he really did. He lost his job and everything. He got so much abuse for telling the truth.
Yeah, it's true. I'm just going to go with Christine Anderson here now. She's just talking about...
She's very good.
She's very good. She's a German MEP. She's really good.
It's just the audacity with which they do this. I mean, they are elected officials. And in a democracy, you have to act on behalf of the people, and you have to act in their best interest. But that's not happening anymore. It really isn't. They serve all kinds of interests, especially in the last 3 years. We've seen they were, pretty much serving the interest of pharmaceutical companies, coming up with this, ridiculous mRNA shot, calling it vaccine. And they had no regard and no concern for the safety of the people they were injecting with that stuff, or like by the millions and billions. So So that is a completely new quality of atrocity that they reached at this point. And it's
Isn't it
dire
amazing?
circumstances.
It's amazing how they're just kind of all doing it. And it's
they are.
It's scary.
Yeah, they are.
And
it is. And the most scary part about this is they seem to be reading all from the same script. It's like the terms they used, build back better, safe and effective, and no one is safe until everyone is safe. But these are just words. They're flaunting around, but what do they mean by no one is safe until everyone is safe? So obviously it means, well, until everyone got the injection. But is anyone safe with that mRNA shot? I don't think so. And what we've seen up until now, and there is still more to come, we're finding out more and more every day. And I've said that before, and I will say it again. This whole vaccination campaign, it will go down into the medical books as the biggest medical scandal ever. And yes, it will be known as the biggest crime to ever have been committed on mankind.
Yeah. See, a lot more people are waking up to this than, a lot more people. Like, I'm going to be honest, anyone I know regret taking it. Anyone I know.
A lot of people I know. Now, not everyone, but a lot of people I know. And there's a lot of people who would say they got their boost or whatever and said, no way, definitely not. I'm taking no more.
Yeah. Yeah. I was the same. Like, I know loads of people who only got 2 or got 1.
But there's nobody out there who didn't take the shots regrets it. Like, all of us that didn't take them think, thank God we didn't take them.
Yeah. Liz Pepper just put up there, my life has completely changed since COVID view. The world I view the world differently and think anyone who's seen through the bullshit probably has suffered because of it. Well, I have suffered immensely because of it. I'm being honest with you. I really have.
We all have.
Yeah. They reckon many were saved because of the injections were in storage so long that they were out of date when they got them. Well, if you remember rightly, at the start, they were supposed to be held in freezers.
Oh, yeah. And it's like minus whatever, was it minus 20 or something like that? Really ridiculous, yeah. And then all of a sudden that stopped.
Yeah. Second only to climate change, yeah. Gemma and John Waters tried to tell people with paper, yeah, and fair play to her for coming out with that, because she did very good work on that, I have to say. Some of her other stuff can be a bit mental, but I still like her, Paul, who was working for the EU now? We all know really. Yeah. Fair. And I just want to, a friend of mine just sent a message into me. Let me see. No, not that one. Yes, I have a friend who is living in Wexford. Okay. I organised cameras for her there a few weeks ago, and she still hasn't got anyone to put them up. So if there's anyone around Wexford that can help Anne out.
What area in Wexford? Like what town?
Yeah, she's Rosslare. She's between Rosslare and she's up a bit from Rosslare, but near enough to it. Like, you know what I mean? But
okay, so anyone around the Rosslare area.
Yeah, she's getting a terrible time from
Antifa.
You're
saying that, yeah.
The scumbags, like they ruined their septic tank and like they broke up her car and different stuff like that. But the cameras are there. If there's anyone that can help her, drop into her or send me a message here and I can get you in contact with her, because I'll be honest with you, I can't get down myself. I've too much on at the minute. I just can't get down to Wexford. If we were having another protest in Rosslare, I'd have them up for you and all. But and please God, someone will pick up tonight now. So if anyone can help Anne, she's really a nice woman that lives in Wexford. She's a dub. So if you can help, please do. My ma got a text about the vaccine. Hang on, let me see this. My ma got a text about the vaccine the other day. I was like, delete that message and avoid. Yeah, I'm the same. My ma and dad getting them all the time, but they're wide now. Messing around with words.
I never got any phone calls. I never got any texts. Do you know what's gas?
I registered for nothing. I registered for nothing. You know the way everyone registered on the COVID app and the this app and the that app?
No. I didn't even
registered on nothing. Yeah.
Convert.
Yeah, I never got one of that. I never even got a thing up my nose to test myself. No, I knew it was bullshit. That's why I stayed well away, mate. Thank God for InfoWars and non-Google platforms. Yeah. Alex Jones
Yeah.
done very great.
And Alex Jones, the High Wire, JFK. Do you know Dr. Zelensky? I know he's passed now, but like, and then all the rest of them, like like Mike Eden. You know, Ryan Cole, David Martin, Carrie Mullins, you know, that's where you got all your information from. There wasn't actually that many Irish, and then that's how I got in with watching, who was it? Dr. Pat Morrissey, Dr. Marcus de Bruyne, what was the doctor there? Jerry Waters as well, yeah.
Al just sent me in this. This was the deaths from 2017 to 2024. Approximately 31,140 deaths, a stable year pre-pandemic per CSO data. 2018, 31,000, lowest in the EU that year. 2019, 31,000, 2020, 32,757. 2021, 33,055 deaths. Pandemic impact grows. 2022, 35,477 deaths, peak post-COVID excess mortality. 2023, 35,459 deaths, slight decline. And 2024, 9,564 deaths in Q1, full year estimating. But so you're talking 4 of them. So 4 9 is 40, so probably 37,000 on that as well. But it's gone up. It's the excess mortality has gone through the roof, really, and it's holding steady. It's going up, but no, it's not.
But that's not going to be advertised on RTE, you know, or Virgin Media the whole time. So a lot of people haven't a clue. They haven't a clue what's going on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Jaden is going anyway. Rosary time, but I will ask Mary. I will ask for Mary first. Well, there's Mary there. I have the Blessed Virgin there, so. Say a prayer, Jaden. Yeah, please do. We constantly get text alerts here in the UK. Yeah, my man dad was getting it all the time. I try to give Gemma's newspaper to people, did not want to know about it. Yeah, they didn't. My dad got it only a few months ago, about 2 months ago. And he says, I'm reading this paper, it's deadly. I said, what is it? He said, the Irish Light or something. I said, yeah. I said, that's out Yonks. I said, for Anna's daughter. Yeah, fair play for Anna's daughter. Orla, can you send that thing on to me as well? Do you remember we sent it? I couldn't find it in the things there. Jaden asked me for the GoFundMe for that woman that was do you remember that needed the operation?
Which one are you talking about now?
Do you remember the operation there that they were doing? The woman needed an operation. What was it?
Was that last week? Recently?
Yeah, it was recently. I think it was last Thursday.
I don't think I had that. I don't think I sent that on to you.
Okay, I'll have it.
I didn't send anything on about a GoFundMe or anything like that. So somebody else must have sent it on to you.
Yeah. I'm going to just play this one as well. This is only 30 seconds. This is JFK or RFK.
And that's the problem. If you do not do placebo-controlled studies, you will not see those effects. You'll just think, oh, I just cured measles. Good for me. You're not seeing that 10 years later, those children are much more susceptible to Hodgkin's lymphoma, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, atopic diseases, cardiac diseases, allergic diseases than other kids. And you may be killing more of them over the long run than measles ever did.
Yeah, that's just the measles one. Liz Pepper's writing up there. Dolores Cal saved my life. Totally explained it all. Love her.
Yeah, she was very good.
I'm going to be honest with you, Liz. Sorry, banned again. I was the same. I watched Dolores Cal in 2020 when she came out and told us that it was respiratory. It was nothing more than a cold and this, that, and the other. And that's when I stopped wearing the mask. And I only met her last year. And when I said it to her, I said, it was you who stopped me. And she gave me a big hug and said, well, at least I stopped one person. But she didn't. She stopped a lot of people because I told people the exact same story,
And she was treated terribly as well.
Quiet. Yeah, Dr. Cal went very quiet. Think she was spooked by the whole thing. A lot of stress. I don't really know. Well, there's arrest warrants and everything for her everywhere. You know what I mean? So I was only talking to her a couple of weeks ago. She's a lovely woman. I have great time for her. She's a lovely woman. I'd say it throws absolutely everything into question. Yes. RFK, what's this? RFK Jr., the man is 70 and he's in better shape than me and I'm 27. Yeah. But there was 18 jabs before the 19th. Do you remember? That's what he came out and said. Do you remember that?
What?
There was 18 COVIDs. That's what Simon Harris came out and said. There was 18 COVIDs before COVID-19. That's what he came out and said, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she was great, Dolores, yeah. Love her, Paul. She's been through the wars. Yeah, she has. You know what I mean?
She has.
She
She was
really
treated
has.
terribly
And as
as
I
well.
said,
And again, like that, she was only out speaking the truth.
she was only telling the truth. But this is what happened to everybody who told the truth. Facebook. I was banned off Facebook more. And you know what was allowed to happen? People were allowed to slag me on Facebook about being an anti-vaxxer, about being a scumbag and calling me the C word and everything. As soon as I said something back to them, boom, I was banned. So it was happening all the time, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Simon 19 Plonker. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Bam. You also sent me another one about blood. This is what happened when human blood
Oh
gets.
yeah.
This is a good one.
That's
This
really
is
good.
a
Yeah, and
good one.
that's Richard Fleming, Dr. Richard Fleming.
We play this and we'll
Yeah.
up in a while. Should we? Yeah, I think we're nearly finished.
I'm going to pull that one off because I want to be sensitive to time. And the last one is Jansen. You can tell it's mixing with the Jansen right now. The current from the Jansen added to it. And you can see that these cells, I think, are moving in clumps.
Clearly.
So, future heart attack.
This
future
is 500.
And that's like quick.
Oh wow, they're starting to form strings.
Yep.
You see that?
Remembering that Jansen was the first one who came out and admitted there was an inflammatory thrombotic issue
That's right.
with your vaccine, right?
They're forming strings of clumps. Stringy.
Now 1,000.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see them pumping.
This is a really good video right here.
Jesus.
Yeah. Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, see the way it's all clumping together.
Yeah. That's because you're vaccinated.
Yeah.
I'm a pure blood. Yeah, I'm a pure blood. And what was it my brother says to me there? Last year, the year before, he said, Paul, our sperm will be worth its weight in gold, he says, next year, the year after. Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I know anyone who didn't take the shots. Yeah.
Simon Harris would make a good wife. He would. Liz, I'm in a group since COVID with people all around the country. When the woman who set it up watched what people were saying and contacted like-minded people, it was a lifesaver and group is still going. Well, I was the same. I'm being honest with you. Like, I joined Reclaim Ireland. I started. Well, I wouldn't say I started. I was there from near enough to the start, and we tried to. But that's all we were, like-minded people. You know, just having a chat. You know what I mean? And it was brilliant. It was great to get away from the hustle and bustle of the house where the kids were. You know, oh, I'm getting vaccinated. Mum was coming in with a badge on. You know, I got vaccinated. I have 5 of these badges now. Whoop-de-doo. You know, so. You know. Cora, no, 2 people. He treated during COVID. I told my friend if I got sick to contact him. COVID was man-made in a lab. Yes, we know. I knew vaccine coming in a year before it came out. Leave the year we could look. Never. Yeah. Friend of mine got a message from a mate of his from Pfizer in the December 2020, and he told him not to touch it. It wasn't even tested. And my mate went and I rang my mate in the July, and I said, and it was like I told you this before. It rang for, and I said, "How did you get away with no bleeding COVID cert?" Oh, I got vaccinated just to go on holidays. I thought, after your mate bleeding, telling you, are you mental? Why on earth would Matt Garrett go out to a flabby Leo because he caught snogging another bloke in the George? Matt is way better looking than him. I'll be honest, lads. I've no interest in men, to be honest with you.
Dr.
Blue
Billy
blood.
Roth, that was the other doctor. Sorry, Dr. Billy Roth. He was speaking out as well. Dr. Vincent Carroll, he was another. Dr. Anne McCluskey, she was another one as well. Like we were all watching, and they were all trying to speak out.
Yeah. Dolores Cal said it will be 5 years before the real effects of the injection start to surface. We're in the 4th year now. We are. Well, yeah, 4th year, 5th year now. People start dropping like flies.
See, it depends. Nobody knows what they were given. So a lot of people would have been given placebos, right? And then there was other people where it was ranging from 10 micrograms up to 50. So obviously the ones that were getting 40 and 50, they were ones that suffered severe side effects or died afterwards. So anyone maybe that was only getting the 10 micrograms or 20 micrograms, they probably, were fairly okay. But like, there's going to be a lot of people that like, they don't know. This is the problem. Nobody knows, what's going to happen. They just don't. So there's no way of knowing. You're dealing with genetic engineering. So they don't know.
Well, what we do know is myocarditis is up 400% in young people. Like, you know what I mean? And listen, how many funerals have you been to? Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I was only ever at one cremation. I said this before on the show. I was only ever at one cremation before 2020, before COVID kicked in. And I think I'm at 16 now, 16 cremations in 4 years. Like, you know what I mean? Young enough people, not old people, you know what I mean? So, Dr. John Campbell is good as well.
Yes.
Well, now I'm saying that John Campbell was a big advocate for the vaccines, at the start, and he has come out again now and he said he was wrong. Fair play to him.
At least he admitted it, yeah. Sorry, actually, when I was saying about it was Dr. Carrie Madej. Sorry, Dr. Carrie Madej.
Yeah.
And she was brilliant. She was the one that got the vials and was able to analyze them under the microscope and stuff that she saw and all that from Pfizer and everything. It was pretty scary stuff. Then there was Dr. Ruby, Dr. Jane Ruby. She was another one, which was absolutely brilliant. She was talking about the graphene oxide.
Graphene oxide, yeah. I'm just going to send something on to myself there. Just bear with me. But
look, when you look at it, like, I mean, how, like, they came out later on and admitted that it had never been tested for, transmission and all this sort of stuff. But yes, that's what the whole lockdowns are for. And you weren't allowed into a restaurant. You weren't allowed here and there and yonder because of transmission and all that. But the best one was, when you look back on it now, that your shot would only work if somebody else took theirs. Like, what a load of utter nonsense. Like, we would have all, no, I didn't actually. They didn't exist in your day, Paul, so you didn't need to worry about it. But like, you think about the childhood shots, like the measles and all that. Like, you get your shot, you're supposed to be protected. That's it. It doesn't matter if the child next to you has got theirs or not, as long as you have yours.
Yeah.
But this shot only worked if somebody else got theirs. Like that, like, how ridiculous was that?
Yeah. Somebody just put in there, the pandemic ended the day the Ukraine war started. That's exactly what happened. People took down the COVID shite and put up the flag, the Ukrainian flag. That's exactly what happened.
And now that's taken down, and the Palestinian stuff is up. Yeah.
Trish Clark is going, this year alone, I personally know 9 young people who have had brain hemorrhage and brain tumours. Jesus Christ. Did you forget about the AIDS bullshit? Yes. And someone sent that. Did I send that on the other day? I did, didn't I? I sent that on to you. Of AIDS, they were talking about, the HSE was talking about AIDS, that you can't catch it. That's just getting people used to this, because do you reckon that's what this is? VAIDS, vaccine
Acquired.
autoimmune,
acquired.
Immune
deficiency, syndrome,
yeah. That's true, Paul. Cora Quaid,
Yeah, and then somebody was talking there about funeral undertaker. She have John O'Looney. Sure, he's brilliant. Like, but there has to be loads of funeral undertakers and pathologists like Dr. Ryan Cole that are seeing. Well, obviously he's speaking out, but like that are seeing what's going on with all the clots and all the big long. Like the big long. They look like these white strings coming out.
Oh yeah, the clots.
Like
the clots.
they are.
They're
the
like
clots. They're freaky.
Yeah.
They look like. Oh my God, they're nearly, I don't know what they look like. They're
like calamari. That's what they're like. Calamari.
Yeah.
Trish Clark, Flame Chef, just saying, my son-in-law dropped dead June 2023, non-smoker, non-drinking, age 33.
Yeah.
As a gay man, I was very awake to it. Yeah.
Fair play, Michael.
Dementia, particularly with our women,
and
is ridiculous.
Alzheimer's.
That's gone crazy.
Yeah, it's gone crazy. Remember, we were only saying this a couple of weeks ago. We were just saying, like, do you remember back in the day, if you were asked how many people would you know with dementia or Alzheimer's, you might be able to mention one person. Now you're literally on two hands counting how many people you know.
Yeah.
That never happened before.
Yeah. Somebody just put in there, didn't Jerry Waters die? Well, I don't. I'm still in the group room there now. He's just sending me a message a few minutes ago, so I doubt it very much.
So that Jerry Waters didn't anyway. No.
Good job. They are not car mechanics. Yeah. Everything they come up with is designed to damage our immune system.
Damage the immune system and weaken the immune system. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like God gave us our immune system. You know what I mean? Like you remember again back in the day, Paul. You'd be outside, you'd be playing outside, you'd be out in the field, you'd nearly eating shite, and nobody cared. And like that was all building up your immune system. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you weren't jabbed to an inch of your life. As far as I know, I don't even think I got any shots because I had measles, I had mumps, I had rubella and all that as a child. So I obviously didn't get any.
Well. I remember years ago going into a place off Clanbrassil Street, and he brought us into this room. We were in there for about 4 hours, me and my other brothers and sisters, and he rubbed shit on our chest, on our arms, to see when we like one party it'd have bleeding hives coming out of it. This bit here it'd be popping something else, and you'd be allergic to it then, But I'm just gonna play this. I'm just gonna present this here now. This was from today, okay? Speaking of poisons, okay? Just bear with me there, and I'll this one. We'll go with this one. This was me this morning, okay? This was me this morning. All right. This is outside my back garden, and it was about, I'd say about 10 o'clock this morning, okay? But go on, I'll play this. There we are. Knew it couldn't last too long, eh? Look, getting sprayed already. Look, this is one they prepared earlier. It's still beautiful over there, but they're still putting it out. Look, it's disgraceful. Disgraceful. Look. I knew it wasn't going to last too long. Should he can tell you now what time it's going to rain at because they're controlling the weather. Them trails, lads, they are real. Don't look up, whatever.
But like how many photographs? I noticed there was it a couple of days ago, the amount of people on Facebook were putting up photographs. And you literally had a line going, like lines going across the sky, like actual lines. There was no clouds, just lines. And I just started saying to people, do you know what it looks like? I said, does anyone fancy a game of X's and O's? Because that's nearly what it looked like.
Well, now this is me going to collect the kids at 2:30 today. This is 2:30 today, right? The other one was 11 o'clock this morning. This is 2:30 today. So watch this. Oh, hold on. Sorry. That was my bad. Yeah. Here we are. There's more. And on ones. It's crazy, isn't it? There's 3 we prepared earlier. Another one there. It's ridiculous, people, isn't it? Don't look up, whatever you do. Don't look up. And then I have one more. I'm going to just play.
I've been even worse than that. Like way worse than that.
Well, now, I'll tell you, I went up to collect the girls from training. This is at 8 o'clock this evening, okay? Now, watch this. These are the 3 from today. This is at 8 o'clock this evening. Here we go. There's the haze starting now. It's 8 o'clock. There's ones that they put up earlier. They were the ones that I showed you earlier on. Look at it. Look at it. They are not proper clouds.
Yeah.
They are making up clouds. That's what they are. Look at the haze. Look, it looks blue the whole lot, but it's a haze. There's one there. I looked at left earlier. Look, disgraceful. Now, I was actually speaking to a girl. Hang on there. I'm just going to read this. I had flight path logs of an unidentified plane flying over Dublin each weekend of a night from England doing a pure concentrated grid flight path. Yeah, I've seen it myself. But one of the mammies at the school said it to me the other day. She said, Paul, I've often stood in my garden with the flight tracker looking up at that plane and it's not on the flight tracker. What's that all about? I said, there you go. I said, because they don't want you to know. That's it.
Yeah.
They do this mainly on overnight flights. Yes, they do. We had very bad summers last year because of what they were doing. Yes, and I was speaking to a girl at the school again today, and she told me, "You're a conspiracy theorist, Paul. You're like my sister. You get on well with my sister and the whole lot." And I was actually talking to her sister at the confirmation, and it was like looking in a mirror talking to someone. You know the sort of way. There you go. Blue sky, 9 a.m. Noon zigzags everywhere. But this is it. They're going to tell us now it's going to rain on Friday. Should have already laying the foundations for it now today. Like, you know what I mean? Never remember clouds look like that, or the grey sky as we get.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But there is, as I said, if you look at the lines, there's lines and they're like, crisscross. As I said, it's nearly like playing X's and O's. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. If you look at it there, sky heavy laced chemtrails today, early morning to evening haze, sore throat, then after being out in it. Yeah, exactly. And if you remember rightly, a few months ago, we got the fog. Do you remember we got the fog all around the world?
Yeah, you were saying that. I
Everybody,
don't think we had it down here in Carlow. I don't remember it
Oh
down,
yeah,
down
we
here.
had it, and it was very bad for 2 or 3 days, and people were coughing and spitting because of it. You know,
There was a
cloud
lot of people
seeding. That's
supposed to be
exactly
sick.
what it is.
Yeah, but there was supposed to
was,
be
yeah.
people sick from that fog thing. As far as I know, we didn't have it down here. Well, I didn't notice it anyway, so it can't have been that bad.
Yeah, most of the chemtrail planes are drones. Yes, it never used to happen in the 80s or 90s, and I've often spoke about it on the show here. We used to go missing from 9 in the morning till 9 at night, and you come back black. You'd be like you'd be like Harry the Turk. You know what I mean? And that was it. Our summers. I remember school. You'd get out of school in June, and it'd be just summer until
Yeah,
you
I
go back
know.
to
Yeah,
school. It'd still be beautiful going back to school in the September. You know.
yeah, I remember that. September was always a good month. Yeah.
Yeah, during the lockdowns, Esmeralda, during the lockdowns, only cargo planes were flying. It was the best spring and summer ever. Yeah, it was. It was brilliant. I was down in Achill for that, and it was brilliant. I was down there for 3 months. But woe was the man who thinks he overcome nature, but in the last analysis only mocks her. Disease, disaster, and misfortune are her answer. Yes. I may get mad allergies. Yeah, a lot of people are getting allergies as well. You know what I mean? It falls to earth. It's full of toxic chemicals. I've seen people doing this, and they take the dust off the windowsill and they put a magnet
Yeah, off
underneath
their
the paper,
cars.
and it's magnet. Yeah.
Off their cars. Yeah.
And they say it's to cool the earth. That's what this geoengineering is. It's to cool the earth. It's the yeah, exactly, to stop. It's to stop you getting vitamin D. That's exactly what it is, and to keep you sick. And everybody, I don't know whether you noticed it today and yesterday, everybody has been in great humor. Everyone's hello, brilliant weather, blah, blah, blah.
Yes,
Everyone's
everyone's in good
upbeat.
form. Yeah.
You know, it's brilliant. They know the upper winds of the Northern Atlantic tracks. Yeah, Cork and Kerry hammered today. Well, we were hammered as well in the afternoon. Like 1997, it started. It's the same year as we got the first electric Prius, wasn't it? That was 1997. People don't seem to realise that the first electric Prius was 1997. How long ago was that? 97, 2007, 17, 27. It's
nearly 30 years ago.
30 odd, 38 years ago, 30 whatever years ago, yeah. But the strange fog killed off a lot of farmers' livestock. Yes, it did.
But you know what you noticed as well? I remember
this
this from last summer or whatever, or spring and that. Where's all the insects? Normally you'd see loads of butterflies around, you'd see loads of different insects. Yeah, you see hardly any of them anymore.
Bees dead. There's millions of bees dead.
Yeah.
Millions.
You normally see, the bumblebees going around. Where's the bumblebees?
Yeah. My fiance refuses point blank to believe me about geoengineering. Nothing I show him or tell him will convince him to question even his beliefs. Not even MSM, which he believes will sway him. Listen, people, it's happening.
Unless it's up on RT or Virgin Media, people are not going to believe it.
No, well, I'm just going to pull up Google there just for a minute and let me see. Can I find it? We just type into Google geoengineering and we'll see what comes up. Okay, let's share the screen.
Wasn't geoengineering used for was it over in Japan or over somewhere for the Olympics to make sure that the weather was good a few years ago, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. That's geoengineering. Let's open that there. Geoengineering. Climate engineering. Geoengineering, also known as climate engineering, refers to deliberate and large-scale alteration of the Earth's climate system to counteract anthropogenic global warming, including techniques like carbon dioxide removal and solar radiation modification. So yeah, there's a lot of videos there, people. Go on to it, have a look yourselves. Don't just take my word for it. You know, this is the thing though. It was in the Irish Times. Yeah. Birds in the UK have declined 73 million since 1971. The bees, yeah. If bees die, we die. It's true.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
people, did you know that honey never goes off? Never.
Well,
Like
proper
honey
honey.
can be used. Well, honey. The majority still only believe something RTE say. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Lads, we're flying through this. Hang on a minute. I have one more little video. How long is it? 2:20. It's Mick the Git. I'm just going to go with Mick the Git before we finish up. All right. And then we'll finish up. Orla. All right. Because we're
Nearly
nearly
done, yeah.
out of time. Yes. Share.
I'm Antifa. You should be too. They sound like a lovely bunch. Let's have a look at them in action.
Nazis come! Off our streets! Nazis come! Off our streets! Off our streets! Nazis come! Off our streets!
That's very sad to watch. Just imagine what type of person you'd have to be to do that to an elderly couple. But don't forget, Murphy's Antifa. And so is one of his comrades, Stephen Bedford. Activist Stephen Bedford, 38, who live-streamed himself driving his Jeep into an anti-immigration protester during a demonstration in Dublin, has been sentenced to 16 months in prison. Murphy tried defending him. I saw a driver making a clever but illegal move to get where he/she was going, and a guy deliberately trying to bar his path. Also illegal, I think. He was driving around the city for weeks, blaring anti-fascist songs and antagonizing protesters. He made this threat since the incident. Think you should watch out for cars while walking around town. It's no surprise to me that Murphy tried to defend his comrade and identified a totally different situation than that actually happened. But let's not forget, Murphy's had a child, and he hasn't assigned that child a gender because, well, he's a wet wipe. Enter Comrade Crudden. And seeing as we're talking about identifying things, his wife's pronouns are it is, as in, I don't know what sort of creature it is. Is a Nechosaurus a thing? Regardless, she's Antifa, and you should be too. Back to Crudden. The Gardaí abandoned Stephen Bedford to a baying fascist mob. He did what he had to do to protect his own safety. Now he has been locked up for 18 months. Disgusting. How stupid can you get? I'm beginning to think Antifa stands for abandoned, neglected, tedious, idiotic fucking arseholes. Sticking to the team. He, him. You may recognise Bedford as the man facing trial for allegedly driving into anti-refugee agitators in February. Fair play to the man. These people are mentally unstable, and as harmless as they come across. They're very dangerous. Murphy included. He's Antifa, and he thinks you should be too.
Yeah. So Mick the Git, he does everyone saying cheers, Paul and Orla. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Danny.
But I just saw a message coming in there a few minutes ago that someone had watched Vaxxed and it was very good. So I'll put them back up again. There it is there, people. HTTPS rumble.com V6RJZ6X Vaxxed.html. That's part 1. That's from 2017. And then we have, there's part 2, Vax 2. So it's HTTPS rumble.com Vax 2, the people's truth. So yeah, and if you can, join us on the YouTube channel, www.youtube.com @Irish Column. And there is the end. The Rumble channel is on the same user, Irish Column. So yeah, everyone, thank you very much. It's no good, Sarah. I'm not bringing you in now. We've only 2 minutes left, but you can wait in the wings there. But we've hit 750 there, people. Fair play. Thank you very much for coming in tonight and listening to us. Love the show. Follow Patriots on the panel and in my chat. We do. Well done. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And if you can buy us a coffee, as I said, if you can buy us a coffee, please do. If you can't, don't bother. It's okay. We will make do. But thank you very much for everyone coming in. Sarah, I'll bring up now in the next few minutes. But Orla, thank you very much for coming on with me this evening. And as usual, it's been emotional. And thank you very much. And I will talk to you in a few minutes. Okay. Well, everyone, we have reached the time again. Just let me finish off a couple of days. Love the show. Follow Patriots. Yes. Many thanks, Paul and Orla. Good night. Does she? Michael Slongo Fall. Yeah. Thanks, Paul and Orla. Top program again. Thank you very much. Thanks for a great show. Good night and God bless. I'll be catching the end, but the show was great. Thank you very much. Ihama. Yeah. Okay, so let me just get rid of this Rumble thing again. Okay, people, as we say every Thursday night and every other night that we're here, the truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. You just let it loose and it will defend itself. Good night and God bless.